The Mel Carmine Show begins in just 1 minute. Support the movement. Visit QFS1776.com for exclusive one-of-a-kind merch that makes a powerful statement. Protect your wealth. Cash is trash. Go to carminesgold.com and secure real assets, silver, gold, delivered anywhere in the U.S. Text Mel at 786-704-8817. Looking to acquire XRP? Minimum is $10,000 investment, and there is no limit, even up to $100 million worth. Again, text Mel with full details at 786-704-8817 and allow up to 24 hours for a response. And yes, text the same number to establish your religious irrevocable trust. Protect everything you built. You own nothing, but you control everything. And if by chance you're visiting Cape Canaveral or you are a local, visit stayingalive.com, alive with 2 E's, and recharge your body at the cellular level. The show with your host, Mel Carmine, starts right now. Hello, folks. Would you ever think that Mel Carmine would ever sell dog and cat food? Well, here I am. I'm selling dog and cat food. And when I show you the video that I'm about to show you, you'll understand why. I used to live in Costa Rica. I adopted 2 dogs off the streets, stray dogs that people abandoned, and we took them home. They live with us here. They got a ride on the airplane in a little container, and they shipped them to us here in Florida. And I saw a video not too long ago that I felt compelled to share with the world, that I'm about to share with all of you, that I think will leave you flabbergasted. And these people are actually doing something about it. They said, gee, why don't we create a organic dog food, cat food business? What an idea. What a concept, right? So here we are. Let's do this. Let me share the sound. Let me share the video. And let me know if you guys can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
This is the world's biggest scam. Thousands are unaware they're part of it. They buy premium dog food that's just recycled cardboard. Trucks deliver to shady underground factories daily. Loads of wet, moldy cardboard waste arrive. Landfill-bound trash becomes dog food ingredients. Powerful shredders turn cardboard to pulp. Water's added to make a thick mush. The smell is acrid, sour, and nauseating. Workers add artificial flavors and colors. Want beef or milk flavor? It's simple. Just pour in the right concentrate. The mix is baked, dried, and fired in ovens. The result? Hard, brittle granules. Looks like premium food. Feels like cardboard. Final step, attractive packaging. Labels boast fresh meat, vitamins, and health benefits. This trash sells as premium food in stores and online. And dogs actually eat it, but the taste is pure chemistry.
That is disgusting. I'm sure you guys probably know about that kind of stuff, which is probably hence the reason why you got into the business you're in. Enlighten us. How did the idea come? Was it yours, Kurt, or was it yours, Kristen? Who came up with the idea first, and what inspired you to do this?
Fantastic. Well, before I kind of get into how it led to this point, most people are unaware that 65% of our pets are getting cancer today. 1 in 3 allergies, or 6 million new cases of diabetes going on. They medicate them with human medications, and our pets are living half as long as they used to. I mean, in the 70s, the average age of a golden retriever was 17, and that average age today is 9. And so, we, of course, wanted to do something about it. We learned these statistics after what led us to a supplement that is just phenomenal. And our partners here with the company, his mother, Simon's mother, was experiencing an issue in her lung. This was 30 years ago. And she was attending Sloan Kettering. They did everything medically they could for her. Nothing worked out. They gave her a couple of months. He reached out to friends and family and to let him know her circumstances. His cousin in Japan reached out to him and said, look, I've got something. All it is a mushroom. It's in a capsule. He said, we have a proprietary way we extract it. give it to her. Let's just see if it might help her in any way. And she starts taking it after the first 30 days, knows a considerable difference or notices a considerable difference in the way she's feeling. Month 2, more improvement. Month 3, she's felt like there's no issues. So 4.5 months after Sloan Kettering sent her home, she goes back. They run all the lab work on her, and we're flabbergasted to see that that issue was gone. And so what ended up happening from there is Simon would tell anybody that got within reach of him his mother's story, what had happened, and people would get on this, and it wasn't people that were just sick like his mother was, but people that didn't want to get sick, that wanted to remain healthy. And as Sloan Kettering started studying this, it went from Sloan Kettering to hundreds of other clinical studies and trials like the American Cancer Society, MD Anderson, Harvard. It's been published in the Library of Medicine many times. And what they concluded was it didn't cure, it didn't mitigate, it didn't prevent, but what it specifically does is modulates the immune system. It gets it running optimally again. And so for years, they would share this out. Simon got in touch with his cousin a few years after all this evolved and said, how do we bring this to the US? Give us control in the US. And they gave him control at that time in all of North and South America. Today, Pet Club is the only way to get this strain with this proprietary way that it's extracted. And they started getting it out on humans. Now, 9 years ago, or just over 9 years ago now, I get a call from a very close friend of mine, Gino. Gino calls and says, "Hey, we've got a product. We've been, getting it out to humans for years, but I just lost my dog due to cancer. My partner Steve lost his dog due to cancer, and 2 of Steve's children lost their dogs due to cancer. Now that's his business partner and our business partner today, and all within 2 to 4 months of one another." And he said, "We're sitting on this product." He shared that story I shared with you. And he said, "We know what it's done for humans. We wondered if it'd be okay for pets." We started doing our research. And in that research, we found that not only is it safe for pets, but it doesn't interact with any medications they can be on. They can't overdose. They can't get addicted. They can't take too much. And we started getting it out to different animals, and we are seeing the most incredible results, faster results. And so I said, well, send us some. We'll give it to our animals. Let's see, how our animals do on it. And ours were young. We had a young cat, a young dog, but we noticed differences in them. But within the first 3 days of us getting this, Mel, one of my best friends posts on social media. He has to put his best friend down, his dog, and he was sad about it. And so I immediately reached out to him. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "Zenta's got this autoimmune issue. And if she goes out and she's had it for several years, but just in the last year it became so bad that if she steps on cement, she steps on asphalt, paw patches peel off." He goes, "Even sometimes a tile in our house." He goes, "It's the craziest thing." And he goes, "Now in this last month, she's laying in the corner of our kitchen. Her hair's coming out in clumps. Her eyes are completely whited over." He goes, "She has to be going blind. She keeps running into stuff." And he goes, "She's got these big growths down her side. She's got 7 of them. 2 are the size of his fist," he said. And he goes, to be fair, the vet didn't diagnose them as cancerous because of the state she's in. They didn't even put her through it, but believes they probably are. And I said, "Well, is she still eating?" And he goes, "She is, but we have to carry her outside to go." And he goes, "Kurt, I'm just not ready." And I said, "Well," I said, "Listen, I've learned about something. I trust the person that brought this to me. I mean, I've known him for over 10 years. He's a do what, shake your hand, do what you do type of guy. And they're seeing some amazing things with this. Are you willing to give it to her and have her try it?" And he said, Of course, we'll do anything." 4 days after she starts taking this, I get a call from him and I answer it. His name's Kurt as well. I said, "Hey, Kurt." And he goes, "What did you give my dog?" And he said it in a tone that he had never used with me before. And I go, "Man, is everything all right?" And he said, "Kurt, Zenta just jumped on the couch next to me." And I said, "Wow, that's amazing." And he goes, "You don't understand. She hasn't done this in a year and a half." He goes, "I can't believe the change we're seeing in her." He goes, "You think it's this mushroom?" And I said, "Well, again, I believe it is because I trust who brought it to us." And he goes, "It has to be. It can't be anything else." And every day that goes by, she starts to the restroom on her own. Right around 30 to 40 days, the crystallization in her eyes completely gone. They notice she's seeing better. The lumps after 6 to 8 months completely gone. No problem with the paw pads within 30 days. The hair wasn't coming out clump. Zenta lived another 5 years. She lived to be almost 20. Now,
Yep.
she passed away due to an accident, not due to illness. And she was doing things that she wasn't doing the previous 5 years. Now, just off that call right there, I was like, hey, we need to be involved with you guys with this company. We came on board and we took ownership with them. And now we're getting this out as many places as we can because of all the pets we're helping. It's amazing.
And you're
And
fairly priced, right? With all the stuff, the store brands, which is really important that
yeah.
you're competitively priced with them. That's great.
Yes.
And that's so important because you could have the best thing in the world that can help so many animals and so many people. And if it's not accessible to the average person, how great of an impact can you really have? So it's something very important to us is that we are not only well priced, but we're actually less than a lot of other stuff that you'll find online so that we can get it into more homes. We have a mission that every pet, every person, every day should be taking this Coriolis versicolor mushroom because it's making a huge difference in a lot of their lives.
Awesome. So let me show you how to buy the dog food that they're talking about. And instead of just giving you carminespets.com, you actually, obviously you can remember that, but I have so many, I got more domains than the White House, you know. You just go to qfs1776.com. You go to where it says shop. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, you should go to where it says shop, and we're building a storefront here. And one of those things happens to be this one here, which is every pet, every person, every day, right? You click that, and voila, it takes you to carminespets.com. And there you could buy all the amazing stuff for your dogs. Because look, if you love dogs as much as we love them, my dogs sleep with us in a king size bed every night. Okay, they are, I guess to Amber, they're just as important as I am, to be quite honest. That says a lot. Okay, so you know, look, we know that there is a cabal out there that doesn't like you, and they don't like your pets either. I hate to break the news to you, but that's reality. And so they're not just trying to kill you; they're trying to kill your pets. I mean, look, I'll say this for the record: my dogs don't get vaccinated.
Mhm.
Okay, they got two little one heartworm, one other one early on, early stages, 11, 14 years ago, whatever, whenever we adopted them off the streets. They're about 14, 15 years old. They're
Mhm.
bouncing around. Obviously, we have a lot of modalities that we use as well. We bring them to our healing center, and they're energized. You know, just like it works for humans, and we energize the body's electric, as you know. Even dogs'
Right.
bodies are electric, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, what else would you like to tell us about your stories that you had so much success with? I'm sure you have a lot of testimonials from around the world. How many countries are you in at this point? Are you international, or are you just here in the United States?
So we're in 51 countries. We're shipping to 51 different countries. And you know, we have countless testimonials. I just got one today, and that was a lady, she had been her dog had been losing its hair, and it was almost completely gone. And she went through every process, through the vet, everything that they could do for it. She tried everything,
Medication.
supplements, you name it, she did it. And a friend referred this over to her, this our products over to her. I think she heard it on another podcast, and she was reluctant. She said to try it because nothing had worked. Very skeptical. She got the dog on it, and before the month's end, all the hair started coming back, and after another month, completely back, and having no issues whatsoever with it. You know, it's an amazing product because what this thing does, you know, it's amazing what happens when we get our immune system
Mhm.
working right and optimally what it's capable of resolving for us. And, you know, back to what you were saying, Mel, you know, it's crazy, you know, what they've done. That video just outlines it perfectly. But when you look at a lot of the other companies that are out there, you know, they're bringing ingredients in from other countries, and they're finding metals and toxins and
Radiate.
radiation and you name it in there. They're finding the euthanization drug in a lot of it,
The meat sources.
and the meat sources, and these are the very things as to why we found out those figures as to, you know, why our animals aren't living just as
Yeah.
long as they should. And what, you know, an animal's easy to replace. What a great thing for them to come up with to create money when a dog lives half as long as it used to. And what do? You're very sad because they're family members, but you can go out and replace them pretty easily. And it's just it's really it just makes us angry every time we see it.
Well, that's exactly why they do it, because they want to make you angry. Because when you're angry, you're stressed out, and then get you sick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you have to go to the pharmaceutical companies to keep the medical mafia in business. Don't get me
Yes.
started. Don't get me started.
Exactly.
You know, because we'll be here for a long time, brother. You know, yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah,
but
so a good majority is the food, streets, and toys, but other things are contributing. You all remember when you only need to get one vaccine for rabies, and now they require boosters every single year. It's not necessary. A titer test will prove that. And it's other things. The things, the chemicals, the things in the air, the things they're drinking, the same things that we're dealing with as people.
these are demonic entities, I think, because
Yeah.
why would you go out of your way? These animals and kids and children and adults that are 70, 80, they can't defend themselves. Even
Everything
after the
innocent.
right? It's sickening that we
Mhm.
have this going on. I mean, I hope Donald Trump can fix it all, but I know that he can't. As much as I would love to believe this war is going to be over next week, I have to think with my feet on terra firma and come to the conclusion that we're in a war that's going to probably last 20 years,
Yeah.
30
Uh,
years,
yeah.
because we have let the car literally fall off the side of the mountain, and now we're deploying the parachutes, hoping that we can sort of soften the crash, but it's
Right.
still going to crash. You know what I mean?
There's no way.
Um, yeah.
There's no way around it. Whenever you want to remodel something, you have to demolish. There's always demolition that has to happen. But it's so important, and you said it perfectly. Like, I think that I'm so grateful for him and him standing in the gap and really serving we the people. But at the end of the day, this diffusion of responsibility has been going on for way too long. Everybody's waiting for somebody else to do it and somebody else to fix it. But the truth is, Trump has been a great catalyst for people like me and my husband and many others that have said, we're done waiting. We're done waiting for other people to solve all our problems and fix everything when we have the ability to create and build things ourselves. We have that capability. We were creating God's image. We are able to create. And so let's create better things. Let's create better media like you that's giving the truth and that's not being censored and just bringing everything transparently. Let's create better companies that are providing better products that are more affordable and more effective. Let's create all these this whole parallel economy and then stop complying with the old one and shift into the new one. And I think that by us all, you and this whole community that it follows you, by us all stepping up and being a lot more intentional with where we're spending our money and who and what we're supporting and what we're doing, we can help to accelerate the progress and all that Trump and this administration is trying to do. We can help accelerate all of that by us
100,000%.
raising our own frequencies and being a part of the solution.
100,000%. Look, if I can have my perfect world, Kristen, if I can have my cake and eat it too, I'd like to wake up tomorrow morning and 8 billion people decided to go out and order a microphone and start a podcast, and
Right?
everybody becomes a part-time podcasters. And I want the authorities to ask you, who the hell told 8 billion people to get a microphone? Mel Carmine.
Milk our
Okay.
butt.
All right. Blame it on me. I'll take the blame.
It'd be fantastic.
What can you do? So where do you see the company going in the next 4 or 5 years based on now that you tapped into the market of, podcasting, and you see, even though we're being held back, I made a movie called Dear Mr. President, dearmrpresident.net. You could watch it completely free of charge. I have a part 2 coming, which is hopefully going to piss off 8 billion people on earth if it's delivered on a 5th grade level of education, which will shed light on number 1, which was overshadowed by the Charlie Kirk shooting, because my movie got launched on the 9th, and the 10th is when Charlie got shot. So it overshadowed everything. Every news thing in the world, nothing was important. It was only that for like the next 60 days, right?
Right.
And they're still talking about it today. It's still overshadowing everything. So we hope that we can get as many people to get a microphone. This is the most important weapon to get. I
Yeah.
get to meet a lot of people, and I'm sure you guys do too, that are, I call them basically family. I don't call them fans. And they get into conversations with us, and they know more than we do. I'm like, wasted talent. Wasted talent. Just get a microphone. That, you know, the best podcasts in the world never get recorded, right? Get a microphone and start having these conversations instead of just that it just goes out into the ether and gets lost. Let's document it. Let's record it, right?
Yes, so powerful. And the voice, every individual voice and every unique voice is so important. As a matter of fact, that's part of our mission, is we're being a voice for those that don't have one. Like you talked about the innocent, for the children and the animals and the elderly and the people that can't defend themselves, and creation that can't defend themselves. Like that's what we're called to do. We're called to be a voice for them. And so the more people step up being a voice, we're looking for 1 million voices, 1 million people out there advocating the restoration of creation, right? And then we can truly change the way that pets and people are being treated. And that's really where we see God taking this company. And it's become a movement more than anything. Even the name of it, you know, we never wanted to really be a company. We always wanted to be a community, just a community of people that stand up and be a part of the solution, that be the change that they want to see in the world. You know, and that's what we're attracting, is just next level people that truly care, that love deeply, and that want to see better things for the world and for themselves and for their families. And they're willing to do something about it and step up and stand up for what they believe in. And so it's just been the most powerful movement. We're excited to see where it goes over the next 5-10 years as it continues to span throughout the world. And ultimately, there was a prophecy that was done where he said that a lot of the conditions that we're dealing with and what our pets are dealing with today will be considered things of the past. And we'll be able to go, remember when people used to get this and when animals used to have that? And it will be so far distant that we can't even remember what it was like, that level of suffering, because we had so far surpassed it. And that's the trajectory that we're on. And you, with all of your healing centers, I mean, we're all contributing to that, getting to that point where these things, this suffering is considered things of the past, and we can't even remember what it felt like, you know, to be able to be going through all of that. So we're looking forward to all of it. Of course, the joy is in the journey, right? It's the process that's the most rewarding, is who you become and how you're built up through this process is the most rewarding part of it. But the future's looking bright.
It sure is. And that's one of the lines that my good, well, I wish he was my good friend. I tried to get on the show, but he's one of my favorite shows, PBD, Patrick Bet David. Well, you'd love to get on that show. You'd sell a lot of dog food, a lot of cat food. He's got millions of people following him, even though he's being suppressed, right? But he always says the future looks bright. You know, so again, folks, I'm going to show you one more time, either carminespets.com. If you can't remember that, you go here to QFS1776.com. There's a tab here. There's a whole, you know, tutorial shop. Hit the shop button and you scroll down the third row on the bottom. You'll see every pet, every person, every day. That's it right there. And that will take you directly to my website. And voila. Okay. You can get your dog some of the best stuff on earth so that your dog doesn't stress you out because he's getting you sick because you're buying cabal bullshit, right?
And for people that are, you know, questioning based off of what they're experiencing or what their pet's experiencing, and they don't know which mushroom support to start with, or, you know, how much do I try, or how do I get started? What's best for me? There is a video when you scroll down just a little bit on that homepage. There's a video, the Pet Health 101, where we do walk through why we're experiencing a lot of what we're experiencing and what we suggest based off of those types of experiences. So it will answer 99.9% of your questions if you just watch that quick video. It's a little bit lower than that. And then
okay,
right there,
this one here. Okay, let's watch a little bit of it.
Yeah.
First ingredient, ground yellow corn, chicken byproduct meal, corn gluten meal. Although this food really looks to be beautiful and something you'd be interested in nourishing your pet with, my recommendation is to avoid it.
The pet food industry is telling us what to feed our pets, really more based on what they want to sell us than what's necessarily good for the pet. So no corn, no wheat, no soy.
After many years of R&D, we have found that corn is still the best available source of carbohydrate.
Those are the things that cause overweight, diabetes, arthritis, chronic skin infections, allergies. Corn and wheat have become so subsidized and so cheap. It's a super cheap way to make a food for somebody who can't say no.
More than 60 million packages were taken off store shelves last month because they apparently contained wheat gluten that was tainted with the chemical melamine.
They thought they were purchasing a certain protein product called wheat gluten, when in fact they were buying wheat flour that had been laced with cyanuric acid and melamine in order to pass it off as wheat gluten.
That was a betrayal of trust.
They don't care about me. They care about my money.
You have well-meaning, lovely veterinarians recommending foods not because they have sound nutritional background, but because that's all that they know. And in 100 years' time, we have successfully convinced an entire generation of pet lovers that why would you feed anything but dog food or cat food?
They get you with the advertising. They spend more money on advertising and packaging, which my wife is guilty. She falls for the package all the time. Oh my God. These guys spend so much time on making the package wow, so that you go, wow, this looks great. Right. And you're judging the product based on the package, and yet the product has no substance. These are criminals. Yeah. These are psychopaths. These are sociopaths. These people should be literally out of our lives, like as in forever. Because as far as I'm concerned, if Mel Carmine made the laws, these would be treasonous crimes.
It's crimes against humanity for sure. Yeah. And people need to be held accountable for it. And it's so, especially the pet industry, the human industry is bad. The pet industry is so loosely regulated. It's unbelievable. Like Kurt said, animal byproducts. Look at almost every product you see for pets has animal byproducts in it. Do you know what that could include? Euthanized animals, roadkill, animals that are too sick for human consumption all get sold to pet food manufacturers at a discount, and they're allowed to put it into their foods and feed it to our pets. Cardboard, all of these they're charring the kibble by overcooking it at really, really high temperatures, and it's full of carcinogens, and they legally don't have to announce it. I don't even understand how they can legally sell this stuff to us. This is our hard-earned money. These are our loved pets that we want to do the best that we can for, and we're spending our hard-earned money on this, thinking that we're nurturing them and feeding them and taking care of them, and it's the very thing that could be killing them. It's so toxic that it's giving them half of the lifespan, if even that, than what they're supposed to have. It is criminal, and these people need to be held accountable for it. And we need to do better.
This is what I say. You want to fight the New World Order? Pick one fight. This is a great fight. This is something to get on a crusade about. Right? You pick one fight. Okay. Listen, I need another business opportunity. Like I need a hole in the head. Okay. I got so many businesses I'm running. I got more businesses than Bill Gates. Okay. Let me tell you, the bottom line is you get in touch with my wife, the same number that we use for gold and silver and XRP and all the things that we do. Okay. 786-704-8817, 786-704-8817. You attention it to Amber, because I have no more time. I have to clone Amber, by the way. You guys have a recipe for cloning? I need to clone her like 19 times, right? And say, listen, I want to get involved with this pet thing. I want to kick the ass of the cabal companies who are trying to poison our pets. And you might make some money in the interim. What a concept.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And she'll put you in touch with them, and they'll do whatever they got to do, because I have no time, and I'm not going to motivate you. But if this doesn't motivate you to get off your ass and do something about it, we're giving you an opportunity to do that, and it's here.
And that's just it. We need voices, and we need voices because we will not go into big box stores. We won't go that direction. It goes back to what you said. We would go to those stores, and there was aisles and aisles of choices. The pet store, aisles of choices. What do you choose? You have no idea. And then you pick the one that has the vegetables and looks like it's the healthiest product out there. And come to find out, it's one of the top 13 worst dog foods you could be even given your pets. And that's what we experienced before we learned this, before she went into become certified in pet nutrition and really understanding what was going on. And so and thank you for bringing that up, because we need voices.
Me too.
We can get a million voices. We can take this baby, we can make a dent in some things.
Yeah. Look, if we all pull together, pick the thing that makes you tick. There's a million nutritional multi-level marketing companies, a million affiliate companies. You can represent anything. Pick one.
Right.
Pick one that's run by the bad guys, and let's kick their ass.
Yes.
Simple.
Simple.
This is a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if we can redirect all that spending and then redistribute those resources and get them into good people's hands, people that actually care,
Yeah.
then think of what we can do, because the micro creates the macro. So if we can impact and put people just on a local level in more positive situations, and then they can then use that new influence and those new resources and kind of in a synergistic way ripple that out. I mean, it's so simple, like the vision.
Ripple that out. Are you an XRP investor?
You better believe it.
Hey,
That in there.
you might sell some dog food. I got people saying, "Mel, I ain't got no money." Here's some money. There it is, right there. Just sign up, right, and do the right thing, and you might have some money from selling great dog food that's healthy, right? And you might get some extra money so that you can put it into what XRP, right? Voila, problem solved. You solve two problems with throwing one stone, right?
Right.
Unbelievable.
And all our food is made and sourced here in the USA. It's all made in human grade whole food commercial kitchens. Absolutely won't find a bad ingredient. You're not going to get a phone call or call us and say, "Well, I looked up this and found this." We have done the research. We're putting healthy in everything and doing it right.
All natural.
Not flash cooking the food. Everything the way that you would expect it to be, the way that, when you grew up and you thought you were eating something that was healthy, you didn't have to question it. You thought, oh, well, they wouldn't put something bad out there.
I could have sworn
Exactly.
those cookies were real bread.
Yeah, right.
So there
And
you
that's
go,
what-
guys. You have the number. Contact Amber. Amber will get you in touch with these folks, and these folks will do whatever it is they do. And I can focus on. I'm like wearing 19 different hats myself. Guys, thank you for coming. This was great. And thank you for bringing us